All right, I'm the Flat Rate Master, and today we're talking about working at an independent shop, the advantages and disadvantages. Now, this is going to be a 4-part series. We're going to first talk about independent shops, then we're going to talk about being at a dealer, then we're going to talk about chain stores, the tire stores, the national chains, and then we're going to talk about working at a fleet shop. Going to work for a municipality, post office, UPS. We're going to talk about all the advantages and disadvantages of all those different places. So today we're talking about independent shops. Now, obviously, I work at an independent shop, so I'm well aware of the advantages and disadvantages across the spectrum. And again, because I'm a negative person, glass is half empty, we're going to talk disadvantages first. Biggest thing is lack of training. Most independents have a very poor training system. They don't want to send you to training. They don't want to pay for you to go to training. They want basically you to fix cars like you've done it forever, and no matter what kind of cars are coming in the shop, they want you to fix it without training. Not always the case. Now remember, guys, all this stuff is generalizations. Your shop may vary, but this is generalizations. Lack of information. Now, this may or may not affect you, but a lot of shops will still have Mitchell all data on the old discs that haven't been updated in several years. My last shop I worked at was like that. They had Mitchell on one computer in one room, or actually they had it on like 3 computers, but we really only used the one. And it was out of date. It kind of sucked. But like here we have all data on demand or online, and we have Identifix. But, you may only have, whatever basic stuff the shop owner wants to buy. All right, next up, you're probably going to be working on older piece of junk cars. You know the ones, the junked up cars. They're just trying to get by. They stink, they're nasty, they're tore to heck and back, and they don't want to spend any money on them. They're much more likely to see those in an independent shop than a dealership. So, this shop, we stop at 2,000. Honestly, the reason is we don't have the parking because of parts availability. When you get into older cars, we might have to wait 2 days for a part, depending on what part it is. You're trying to get, parts from Ford's, obsolete warehouse can take several days to get them. So that's why we don't work on anything older than 2000. Lack of special tools. This is one I don't care what shop you work at. You're going to get a car. You're going to need special tools. Hold camshaft, hold, the crank. You're going to need this specific tool to do a job. And the shop owner doesn't want to buy it because, it's only one car and I'm going to lose money on that job if I buy that $400 tool or whatever it costs. So they're not wanting to spend that money. So you've got to improvise. Andrew actually next to me has a custom-made BMW cam tool that he whittled out of wood because his shop owner wouldn't buy it. So, poor equipment. A lot of independent shops don't want to buy equipment. They're expensive. They go, or my ROI, return on investment, is going to suck on that. Or, well, I didn't make that much money this year. I don't really have extra money. That kind of stuff. It's just going to wind up being, you're working with a transmission jack that pours oil out of it because he won't fix it or get a new one. That kind of stuff. That happens in dealerships and other shops too, but it's much more prevalent in an independent shop. No OE scan tools. A lot of independent shops will buy that one cheap Genesis, Snap-on, that might be, high-end, Autel, Launch, whatever. They want you to fix late model cars, but they don't want to buy a J-Box, subscriptions, or the OE tools to fix them correctly. So you wind up having to spend a bunch of time and then wind up having to ship it to the dealer. Next one up is cheap parts. Huge problem with independent shops. They're more worried about, well, we need to get the price down for the customer, and yeah, that's not my problem. I want the car fixed right. So we need to step up, and instead of buying that $14 ball joint, buy the high-end Moog or some of the better stuff out there instead of buying the cheap stuff, especially with diagnostic, sensors and stuff like that. We all know my opinion on Dorman, and Dorman is number one of what part stores carry. So that is going to be a huge problem unless you work at a shop that does more OE parts. Next one, you're going to be working on all makes and all models. So you might be working on a Honda right now, but next car you pull might be a Jaguar, might be a BMW, might be a Mercedes, might be a Saab, might be whatever comes in the door. Well, that's great, except you've never done that job on that car, and you may never see one again. So you may lose a good bit of time trying to figure out that car, figuring out what the problem is, and then the repair might be time consuming because you've never done it before. The dealer tech knows that one little trick, pry the engine up, 2 degrees and you can get this bolt out or something like that. That's because you work on all makes and all models, you don't know some of those tricks. You're going to have a small crew. Most independent shops are going to have a handful of techs. Getting vacation time can be an absolute nightmare. If you even get paid for vacation, a lot of independent shops, you don't even get paid for vacation. You don't get any paid vacation. You don't get any, insurance. You don't get any benefits. But, you go ask the boss, I want to go take my kids to Disney World. And he's like, oh, well, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that week because of this or that, or, So it's going to be a problem sometimes. All right, the advantages, the good things about working in an independent shop. Chances are you have a problem, you can walk up front, go talk to the boss. Another tech's doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. Another tech is, whatever. Service advisor is doing something stupid. You've got someone that can make the ultimate call about that situation. Whereas if you were working at a dealership or chain store or even a fleet shop, municipality, that kind of thing, the boss, your direct boss, might have 12 people above him and can't make any sort of call to actually do anything about that situation. Next one, you work on all makes and models. You're going, wait. You said that was a disadvantage. When we get into dealerships, you work on the same things every day. Every day, day in, day out. You pull in this car up, yep, it probably needs this, and this. It's great for making money, but tedious and mind-numbing. Now, some guys may disagree with that. Oh, I've talked to dealer techs, and they're like, there's tons of stuff to keep you interested and this and that, but in an independent shop, you've got different stuff coming in all the time. You've got new opportunities to learn, new systems to figure out. It's always going to be interesting. That's one of the things I like about working in an independent shop is I see a wide variety of cars. So, you know, when I get stuck in a rut where I'm doing, you know, Honda timing belt, Honda, you know, air conditioning replacements, I'm doing this, you know, same stuff over and over again. It's like, come on, you know, so it keeps stuff interesting. You know, yeah, you may not make as much money on that funky car, but it's fun. I mean, I enjoy the challenge of working on different makes and models. So your mileage may vary on that one, but that one is a advantage for me. Next one, and this one is going to get a ton of hate from dealer techs, and I don't blame them. You can always send it to the dealer. You get stuck, you don't have that special tool, you've got, you know, there's a TSB for programming, and like there's certain cars I will not program with a J-box. Nissan is #1 on that list. I will not program it with a J-box. The only way I will program those cars is with a Consult 3 Plus, which costs $12,000. You have to have an LS ID, locksmith ID, in order to get security cards. And that's if Nissan decides to sell it to you, because they may not. You come into a problem, you always have an out. Well, it needs to go to the dealer. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Some guys use it as a crutch because they don't want to mess with something. Others, it really needs to go to the dealer. You know, some weird, screwy problem can be really hard to diagnose, you know, because like let's say we're working on a very late model vehicle, there might be a internal TSB that has not been released because they haven't finalized it because they're not even sure about the fix yet. So it could be a good thing for everybody involved, but it will annoy some dealer techs because, you know, they get the stuff we don't want to mess with. You're going to have a small crew. You're going to have a small amount of techs and service advisors for most shops. You're usually going to have way less drama. You're going to have less guys, you know, to be crazy. You know, chances are, you know, you might have that prima donna, you know, who, you know, screams like a little girl when he doesn't get that timing belt that came in. But for the most part, you're going to have a small group of guys or girls that you know, enjoy working with. So the last one we're going to talk about is, for some guys, I know I'm called the flat rate master, don't like or can't handle working on the flat rate system. Either it doesn't work with their mentality, they don't like the stress of working flat rate, or for whatever reason, they don't want to be on flat rate. You're much more likely to have a salary or hourly position at an independent shop. They're out there. So if you're looking for salary, an independent shop is a good option as far as finding a shop that will pay salary. So it's possible. Look out there if you're looking for salary. All right. I am the Flat Rate Master. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Comments are always appreciated. And if you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs up. Tell me why, whether you disagree with me or think I'm chicken because I have a yellow box and don't do side work. And as always, thanks for watching.